So everybody, welcome to what we call our Lac Qui Parle 36 native prairie bank. We name our prairie banks based on the township and the section that they're in. Just makes it easier to keep track of them. And this is private land owned by Wayne Erickson, who's this gentleman over here in the baseball cap. We enrolled this in 2017, I think it was. Yeah. Yep. And we burned it. I want to say 2018. This whole section was burned. And now we're doing a project on the north end looking at different brome control methods. And Wayne's helping us out. He's been graciously helping us with the haying part of that. So this native prairie bank protects about 280 acres, I think right around there, that's enrolled of native prairie. Somebody asked kind of, what are your criteria for looking at the whether it should be enrolled or not? Well, this is a really nice big property of contiguous prairie. It's got good diversity. When I first came out to meet with Wayne, he had like a notebook of all kinds of photos of plants and stuff, and so just showed all the diversity on the site. So that's a lot of what goes into it. So this is a nice large block of native prairie.
This is a really diverse prairie, but it does have a lot of our smooth brome in it, which has been kind of a problem management-wise for us up here in Minnesota. We've been having some cooler, wetter springs. We get a lot of nitrogen deposition, which has really helped smooth brome invade even our really diverse prairies. It can get pretty problematic to the point where it's starting to exclude a lot of the other plant biodiversity. We're looking at trying to control smooth brome with a number of treatments. So on this study we have, we're trying to look at how spring fire, biannual spring fire, annual spring haying, annual fall haying, how effective those are at reducing brome in our diverse prairies. So we have one setup here. There's 3 other sites with a similar setup where we have about 3 to 8 acre plots that are getting those treatments.
Dates that we're doing the treatments are aimed to hit brome at its most sensitive time. So when it's done the most drawing of reserves from the roots and rhizomes before it starts putting energy back down into the rhizome. So the idea is hit it when it's at its most vulnerable. And so we've been looking at May 15th to June 15th for our treatments to try to hit that most critical time to really hit the brome harder than anything else. So, and we don't expect that we're going to get rid of brome, but we want to look at how we can really just keep it from expanding and taking over. So keeping it kind of in check.
So for each of the 4 treatments on each site, we have 20 points that were selected with grits within the plot. And there's about a 10-meter boundary around the edges that we didn't put sampling points in. 10 of those sampling points in each plot, we just count brome stems. So we will navigate to a sort of semi-permanent point with a sub-meter GPS and point the quadrat to the west and drop it. Count all of the brome stems within a 0.1 meter quadrat after fluffing the vegetation. And that's our brome counts for the plot.
Stems, not plants.
Our stems, yeah, sorry, tillers, yeah. Yep. Yeah, who knows what's a brome plant? It's a good question. So count the number of stems, and then for the other 10, we'll do the brome counts and full vegetation of the plot. So we'll record all of the species that occur in the 0.1 meter quadrat and then also in the 1 meter quadrat. The only thing we're doing covers on right now is just brome. This is the 3rd year of treatments. We just sampled, and there's a lot of different responses that the brome is having. Right now, it seems just from what we're kind of seeing that the spring haying really is fairly effective. The first couple of years, we actually had increases in the number of brome stems due to the haying. And I think there's some sort of response that it has we can cut off where it shoots out multiple tillers that year. And I think we're finally getting to the point after this third year where it's starting to run out of carbohydrates and stuff to keep doing that. The spring hay stuff this year, it had historically had something about 25 to about 50 brome stems per 0.1 meter quadrat. We're down sub 10 in a lot of them, maybe 15 on the high end this year. So really excited to work that data up. And I'm excited for you guys to see it. It looks like the natives are being a lot more competitive. The brome actually in these spring plots gets to be pretty funky looking. So these chonky kind of long leaf things, this is brome, it's just being weird. They can also be fuzzy. So right now we're probably in one of the more dense patches of brome here. Just so you're able to see kind of, it gets to look a lot like andropogon when it's cut off like this, but it's all brome. It's talking about kind of like that stress response sort of thing. And this is what, like the first couple years of haying, we were seeing a lot of this going on where there's, you know, maybe it was three tillers in the pre-treatment year, and now it's just this clump of tillers. So we ended up having like more brome stem counts those first couple of years, but at this point I think we're starting to get some brome mortality in here.